Person stumbles into an open mic with a new poem they want to share. Person is super nervous and still looking for their unique voice. Person performs poem and enjoys the feeling of being on stage. Person performs a few more times and gets good feedback from the crowd. Host of struggling event sees this person, asks them to do a feature set. Person is shocked. Person has never been paid to perform before. Person doesn't even consider themselves a poet yet. Person has no idea what a feature is, but agrees without asking any questions. Person scrambles to figure out what poems to perform during set. Person sees their face on the flyer. Person sees the flyer online. Person sees the likes under the flyer. Person imagines that these people will show up for the feature set. Wrong. Person imagines the crowd, and person imagines their response. Person arrives to the venue, too nervous to hear the other poems. Never realized the butterflies in the stomach could be so loud. The host reads the person's bio. The crowd shows love in advance. The person does a poem, then another poem, then some more poems. Finally, the set comes to an end. The person feels relieved to finally get over the nervousness that had been building up. They step back for a second, take a look at the crowd. They let the moment soak in so they never forget this feeling. They let it soak in so they never forget this feeling. In the few seconds between the last poem and reaching their seat, the ego slides into the room. The ego eases into the room. The ego didn't buy a ticket, but it tiptoes into the room. Tells the person, yo, you made it. You done made it. Now you the one. Person still hasn't found their unique voice. Person is no longer a person. Person is now a featured poet. The ego is the proof. The ego is the proof. Featured poet stopped signing the open mic list. Ego is too big to be held by a list. Featured poet shows up halfway through the event, but yo, bro, give me a good spot. Featured poet say they so tired of y'all requesting that same poem. Featured poet does the poem anyway, since y'all asked. Featured poet forgot how it feels to have a new poem they want to share. Featured poet is now more concerned with impressing the crowd. Featured poet is now more concerned with you with you capturing the right angles. Featured poet needs to get the follower count up to feel relevant out here. Featured poet begins to sound formulaic. Ego says it ain't the poem, it's the crowd. Featured poet blames the crowd. Featured poet gonna voluntarily run it back because y'all missed that line. I said featured poet gonna voluntarily run it back because y'all missed that line. I said featured poet featured poet be searching for the love they got that one time. The snaps and the claps and the likes and the emojis and the follows and the recognition and the attention creates a high, a wave to ride, a peak to climb, a state of ecstasy within the mind. Featured poet takes that high all the way home, shares the high with the ego, because can't nobody feel it the way I feel it, you know. And I want to feel that high as often as possible to the point that it's only about that high. Oh. Featured poet can't seem to hit that high no more. Featured poet can't seem to hit that high like they used to. Featured poet enjoys poetry, but ain't in love with it no more. Featured poet can't find that person they used to be. The ego tells the poet to be bitter towards the scene instead of looking inward. Featured poet stopped performing. Poetry community asks on a regular basis, yo, what happened to that person? They mention nothing of the featured poet. Poetry crowd concerned about the person. Featured poet found a new passion. Don't really do the poetry thing no more. Meanwhile, a person stumbles into an open mic with a new poem they want to share. Thank y'all for listening.